Hey YouTube. So what I'm gonna talk about today is I was in the car listening to something, and it was like a song, but the girl was like talking in the song. Um I forgot her name. I think her name is Tony Evans. I think so. And she had said something in the song, and I kept replaying that song, like that line of the song over and over and over again, because I was trying to the get that verse. And her line in her little song said, "Thank you everybody for being exactly what my growth needed for me to be." And it dawned on me, and I'm getting chills right now, like up my legs. Like it dawned on me, like I think that's the right word to say, but it literally, like I was like, thank you everybody for being exactly what my growth needed me to be. Okay, what she mean by that is, and I related to my life and my experiences and my life choices and my mistakes and all that stuff too. And I'm going to relate it to different things. And I know all of us on here, we're not all into the Bible, all into that stuff like that. But some of us know that the Bible was written, and it's going off of comedic theory, comedic science, whatever, ancient times, Egyptian times, and stuff like that, so on and so on. So there's there's a verse in the Bible I know that talks about, um what was that verse called? There's a verse in the Bible that talks about, um when you basically make a mistake. I think it's in Romans. When you basically make a mistake, right? Um it turns around for the better. I'm just gonna paraphrase it. And it could be mistakes, it could be life choices and stuff like that. We can get into a relationship with the wrong person. They could be abusive. They might treat us bad, treat us wrong, treat us like trash, whatever, so on, so on, so on, right? And we made that choice to get into a relationship. Nobody forced us to get into a relationship. Nobody put a gun to our head. And I know there's people out there in different cultures that actually marry, like their parents tell them, hey, marry that person probably evil or whatever. But anyway, um they probably didn't have no choice. They had to marry that person because of, money and stuff like that. But some of us, we make choices and we make decisions, and sometimes those forced arranges, like even if your parents had forced you to get into a marriage, right, um that you didn't want to be in, it wasn't your choice. So either or, if it wasn't your choice, or if it was your choice to be in this relationship, I'm just giving this as an example. If it was your choice to be in this relationship, right, say if this person was nasty, evil, treated you horribly and stuff like that, right? That moment, you told yourself, you realize enough is enough. You realize, I'm not going to allow myself to be treated like this no more. I'm not going to allow myself. So you go distant. Either you go distant, you get out the marriage, you run away, or you just walk away from the relationship altogether, because it it awakened you. It awakened you. That person awakened something in you. It was like a wake up call. So it could have been your higher self. It could have been your guardian angel. It could be your spirit guides. It could have been your ancestor. It could be, mostly is your higher self that's awakening you and letting you know you're worth way more than this. So what you do, you leave that relationship, and when you leave that relationship, you sit with yourself and you realize all these things, like, I'm worthy. I'm this. I'm not going to tolerate this. I'm not going to tolerate that. That's the awakening part, right? And that relationship or that friend or whoever misused you, abused you, or stuff like that. And I know it's painful. I know, it's painful. It's painful as hell. Like, and then you probably sitting here like, how could she talk about that? Like, can she say that so just easy? Don't worry. Like, I've been in that same boat too. I've been in that boat, like, of abuse and stuff like that. So I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like being misused. I know what it feels like being taken advantage of, right? But those people, and I know some people are probably gonna be like, you don't know, you don't know what I've been through, you don't know, and stuff like that. I don't know what happened to you. I don't know what you've been through. But what I do know, look at your life right now. It can be even something small. It can be the smallest growth. But you realized you ain't gonna tolerate that. You realize you ain't gonna let nobody mistreat you. You realize you ain't let nobody else abuse you. That is growth. It's growth. You going to counseling, you doing certain things and becoming a better person. You trying your best. You releasing things that no longer serve you from that past. That's growth. Don't let nobody tell you. Don't let your past creep up and say, remember this, what happened? Remember that? Remember that? This and that. That's your past. Look at yourself now. Look in the mirror and look at yourself now. How have you changed as an individual since you walked away from that abusive relationship? Since you walked away from that toxic group of friends? Since you changed your money mindset? Since you realized and escaped, or whatever it is, whatever the situation is that is holding you back, and you feel like you can't move, or you feel like you can't put one foot in front of the other, you feel like you stuck. But you need to look up into the mirror. Okay? Like I said, it can be the most smallest growth. I'm seeing a flower right now. You know how a flower grows? A flower grows. The flower don't grow all at once. It don't come out the ground. It got to start with a seed. Then that little bitty root sprouts out that seed. And then you put it in the ground, or while it's in the ground, the vines keep growing. The vines, think of that as blood vessels. It keeps growing, right? It keeps growing, keeps growing, and it needs that nutrients. So where that nutrients is, I'm connecting this to, it could be counseling, it could be mentors, it could be family members who are supporting you, it could be people who are talking to you to helping you move forward in life, get you unstuck. That nutrients is that. Those people out there who's trying to help you, your higher self, your deities, or whoever you pray to, God, that's your nutrients. Now, since you being fed, you're growing, you're changing. Like I said, it takes little bit at a time. Growth don't happen all at once. A flower don't grow as a flower. You don't put the seed in the ground and the next day you wake up, oh, it's a flower. No. The flower got to go through a process. It got to go through a process. Then when you see that, you will see a little leaf popping up the ground. Okay, then the flower keeps growing. Then you see a stem. Then you see this, you see that. Then eventually it becomes a flower. That's growth, honey. That is growth. It's going to make me cry a little bit. That is growth. Don't think that you have to rush it. Don't think that you look in the mirror and be like, well, my past is this, and I got misused and abused and hurt and this and that and this and that, and treated wrong and lied to. You look in the mirror and that's your ego telling you and reminding you. It's trying to protect you, but the ego sometimes can be detrimental to us. It tries to do its best to protect us because that's all it knows is past events. And so it tries to brace us for something that might not even come true. But your higher self will constantly remind you who you are. Your higher self will constantly tell you you're better than this. Listen to your higher self instead of the ego. The ego will put fear to help to keep you back in the past. Your higher self, once you elevate, that's why it's called the higher self. God that lives within inside us wants you to be elevated. So God ain't fin to, God will want to, God can bring you to growth that you just one day wake up, yep, I'm grown, I'm this and that, I released everything in my past, I grew and now I elevated and stuff. No, it don't happen like that, because you got to go through a process. Sometimes it's not all about you. It's sometimes you go through a process, because going through that process and learning from certain things and growing, it becomes a testimony, so you can go out there and teach others and heal others, and be a guide to others, to help them to develop and get out of that mindset, or get out of that past and stop reliving that past over and over and over again. It's a cycle of life. You realize you grow. Once you grow, you teach others. They grow. They use their testimony. They teach others. That's how it goes on and on and on. That's how you awaken the consciousness. That's how you elevate the people. And there's many ways how you can elevate the people, but it's not all about you. Don't be in this woe is me mentality. And I'm going on a tangent, so let's get back to let's get back to the topic, because we had to remind me, Brownie, going on a tangent now. So yeah, so once you realize and get out of that mind state of woe is me, this is what happened to me, this is that, and I understand it hurts, and you can say, I don't know how I'm going to ever forgive this person. It's not about them. It's you forgiving for yourself. Because the more and more you be mad at the person, or the more and more you be mad at the group of people, you're only killing yourself.